I'm Adrian Mapp, Mayor of the great city of Plainfield. On December 1st of 1955, in Montgomery, Alabama, the First Lady of the Civil Rights Movement, Rosa Parks, made history by refusing to give up her seat on the bus. It was the spark that ignited the Montgomery bus boycott. It was the fuel that propelled, like a rocket, a young Dr. King into the forefront of a movement for change, justice, and peace. 1 year later, on December 2nd of 1956, I came through this space and time on the island of Barbados. 21 years later, I came to America in search of opportunities, like so many who came before me. 21 years after that, I took my seat on the Plainfield City Council. And 16 years thereafter, I became the first Bajan mayor of an American city. So over the course of my 16 years in politics, I faced tremendous adversity at the hands of a few of my American brothers and sisters who reminded me, more than I cared to be reminded, that I was not from here. Just 1 week ago, Mayor Ras Baraka reminded us of one of his father's great pearls of wisdom. He said that his father would often say that if we all went back to where we came from, the airports would be very crowded. And so as we celebrate Black History Month, I think it is important for us to recognize the contributions of people like the late Amiri Baraka, who was a great citizen of this state and of this nation. And we deserve to remember those who have made significant contributions. I should not be reminded by any of my African American brothers and sisters of our common history, and that whether you are from the cotton plantations of the South or the sugar plantations of the West Indies, we are all immigrants who were brought here by the same slave ships and dropped off at different points, only to be reunited in the good ship America. In essence, we are all in the same boat now, but we must be our brothers and sisters' keepers. It is extremely important. Black nationalism in America is as old as Black America itself. Its revival after the Second World War was sparked by the Pan-Africanist Congress, a loose confederation of Black Americans, West Indians, and Africans formed in the struggle formed at the turn of the century. Let us be reminded of who we are, and let us remember that African Americans in the struggle came from all over. Kwame Ture, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, George Padmore, Kwame Nkrumah, and the list goes on and on. We are all wrapped in the same garment of a common experience, cloaked in the same armor of a painful history, and fighting to be liberated from the shackles of educational, cultural, and economic deprivation, social and political injustice, and environmental apartheid. Some have referred to the impact of certain energy policies on the African American community as nothing less than energy apartheid, since we are disproportionately affected by the location of power plants. According to Robert Bullard, 68% of African Americans live within 30 miles of a power plant, the distance within which the maximum effects of the smokestack's plumes are expected to occur, compared to 56% of whites and 39% of Latinos. Of the 2 million people who live within 3 miles Of the 12 dirtiest coal-powered plants in 2012, 76% were people of color. What we also know is that blacks have been at the forefront of scientific discovery and invention from the beginning of time. Names like Granville T. Woods, Louis T. Latimer immediately come to mind. Their work in the 19th and early 20th century were the pillars upon which modern day electricity has been built. Therefore, it is critically important for companies like PSEG to be sensitive to the energy apartheid that has affected minority communities and to recognize the existence of discrimination in procurement policies and practices of major corporations. It is even more important for PSEG to be consciously aware of the need for diversity in its management structure and hiring policies. Companies like PSEG must shine a light internally so that the glow of equality can become more than an ideal, but a reality. Let us celebrate Black history and the Black experience each and every day, not just in February, and let us never forget the contributions of the many giants who have been responsible for where we are and upon whose shoulders we stand. I sit here because of the contributions of those who came before me. And oftentimes it is asked, who can see further, a dwarf or a giant? Well, the dwarf can, simply because he sits on the shoulders of giants. And so, let us always be mindful of that. Thank you so very much.